Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. I have a new large palette from Morphe to show you guys today. Let's take a look at this new palette from Morphe. They came out with this sort of bronze goddess theme. They have lip glosses, they have the palette, they have some liquid highlighters. I wasn't super impressed with the lip glosses or the liquid highlighters. The liquid highlighters were just not quite as blingy as I would like them to be, and then the glosses were just kind of thin. They weren't a whole lot of color impact in there, so I didn't get those. But I did like the look of these bronze golds in this palette. This is a huge mega palette, number 35G. It's enormous. It's one of their giant mega palettes in the cardboard packaging. And I was really drawn to this one because it has a lot of those sort of dusky, terracotta-y looking bronzy colors that I like to wear. They seem to have kind of divided this up into sort of a warm side here and then a cooler side over here, more pinky, purpley over here, and more sort of yellowy golden over here. So I put several of these colors on today and I'll show you how this went on. I'm going to swatch some of these for you and then we'll talk about the texture on them. I'm looking at a lot of these colors. They look very different, but then when I'm swatching a lot of these metals, they're looking kind of all orange on me. They're going very orange and less bronze. So what I really love about this palette is that there are a million transition and crease shades. All these up here, these matte transition and crease shades, I love that. There's a lot of outer corner shades down here in the darker mattes. That's what really grabbed me on this palette. And then I love to do a metallic lid. There are many metals in here you can choose from for your lid. The problem is when I swatch them, a lot of them turn out to look kind of the same, this peachy sort of orange. Swatching some of the metallics, here are a bunch of the metallics. They're all very orange on me. And they're all very hard. That's another thing about this palette that I'm not enjoying, is that these metals have a very hard texture. They're not wanting to go on. They should be soft and creamy. Metallics usually are. But they've got that cheap palette sort of hard pan feel already on them. The instant you touch them and try to put them on your lid, they're not really wanting to go on your finger. They're not really wanting to go on your lid. And the brush is not doing too well on them either. Let me put some on with a brush here. And digging in with a brush. Nothing at all. Just nothing at all. And I'm digging into the product. So I'm not really sure how I'm supposed to work with these metals. They're not making me real happy. Now the mattes are nice. Let's swatch some of the mattes. Here are some of the mattes. They're fairly decent. This one is it's a deep color, but it's a sort of a metallic. It's not really a matte. It's not really a metallic. That one looks just terrible on. There's not really anything going on there. Not the greatest, softest mattes in the world, but they're better than the way the metallics are going on. The metallics do not want to go on at all. So I'm going to show you how I came up with this today. Okay, this is the kind of palette that has so many transition shades, it makes it really difficult to figure out what to do on your eyes. And that's a good thing because there are so many pretty transition colors in here. I think I'm going to start out with this sort of mid-tone one right up here. I think that's pretty much the transition color right there, but look at all of these matte transitions. I'm just loving it. If that one's a little darker than I like on, I know of a different color on here I can use to buff it out. Now that's turning out nice. Really nice, subtle transition there. Up under the brow bone with this very first color here. Okay, I'm going to do this sort of light bronze on my lid. And I'm just going to put that on with my finger, of course. It's a little kind of orangey bronze. It's kind of an unusual color. A lot of these shades are swatching on me very orange and less bronze. I don't know why. Now this one's a little hard. It's still a metallic, but it's kind of going on, not wanting to go on too well. It's not real soft and creamy. I don't know if I'm crazy about that color. I'm gonna do an inner crease color. I think this sort of medium tan here. And now on my outer lid, I'm gonna put this shade right there. It's matte. So far I like the mattes better on this palette than the metallics. I'm going to put a little of this color out there as well. And I just put a little bit of this in the very outer corner. I think I'm going to go ahead and go crazy and put some of this deep purple out there too. Now there is a bright lime green on here, and I just want to throw that on the middle of my lid. If it's too much, I'll kind of tone it down with this lemony yellow right next to it. Once again, hard pan packing. I mean, I want my metallics to be like finger paints. You know, you just touch them and they go right on your finger and then they go right on your lid. All right, you can kind of see that little lime greenness there. I think I'm going to line under the eyes with this shade right here. Just to contour at first. I think I'm just going to leave it like that. I kind of like that. Usually I'll put a darker shade, but I think that's a good enough shade. I mean, for only $25, yes, I agree, your quality is not going to be 100%, especially not for a palette this big. But I kind of need a little more. The colors are all kind of repetitive. They don't look like that in the pans, but once you swatch them, they get very repetitive. Thanks for watching, you guys. I'll see you next time.